Capstone students, I'm going to try to make this as short and sweet for you by request. Okay, so the capstone is an opportunity for you to put together, hopefully, work that you have already done into a website and make it look good. So it's all just in a playlist browser here, so you can just click on that and go to the browser. This is a longer version of the video. I'm going to try to get it to you in just a few minutes because, like I said, there's been requests. So I'm a teacher, so I have to see student view, right? So if you go into action, this is designed for everything to just be in this one activity, and that once you kind of go through these steps and make copies of these things, you shouldn't have to come back to the Empower activity a whole lot, right? So the first thing, review this link, make sure you don't already have it met. ASVAB scores, SAT scores, other ways you might have met the capstone, double check that first. If you think you've met it some way, email Miss Snyder and or myself. Step 2, this is where you get a copy of the capstone. Here is just a student example, right? There's lots of different ways to go about doing a successful capstone site, but this is a student example. This checklist is designed, right? So this is, you're going to make a copy and then open it from your locker. This is designed to make this pretty easy and painless for you, right? There are links all throughout it to make life easy for you of how to do things, or where's your Google Drive. Click here to get the template. If you already have a discovery site or a website that you've been building on or want to use, fine. But if you want to use one that we've created and make it super easy, you just go here and click the template, follow the directions to make a copy, and it is yours. You will not have access to just open it and see the website. You have to copy it. Okay, so this gives you some information on how to create a capstone folder, organize your Google Drive, all of that stuff, how to use Google Sites and stuff like that. Okay, so this checklist just takes you through kind of the steps, right? Personalizing it, having progress checks. Those can be email. The best thing is once you first get your website kind of with some content built into it, share it with me. This tells you how as well. And I will give you some detailed feedback going page by page on what looks good and what needs to be fixed. Once that's fixed, then you can sign up and present, right? So that kind of counts for the progress checks too. You're going to add the literacy content. It says see rubric. Add math content and other content, see rubric. There's a rubric back in Empower. If you go look in the next steps now, there's the rubric and the mathematical model cycle. What those look like, here's the rubric. This is the categories. This is some examples of what you could include. If you're a listy kind of person, you could list here what you're going to include, or just go find it and start putting it in your website. We have updated this, so Engling 4B on Edgenuity. Here's some examples. There's some examples from our in-person math, pretty much anything from financial algebra or any of the integrated maths on Edgenuity works there, right? A lot of times students will, for math, take a screenshot and then use this mathematical model cycle to explain it. So let me jump over there real quick. The mathematical model cycle is kind of like the scientific method for math. It just gives us a way to be able to talk about how we did math. So what I like to do is with the math problems, just make a bullet list of each of these categories and then answer one or two of these questions about at least one math problem on your website. Okay, pretty simple here, right? So you're going to talk about it, define it, what kind of math is it, formulate. This is a great one. What tools do you need and what data to gather? So what kind of math do you need? Did you need to know PEMDAS or money math or decimals, that kind of stuff, right? Then you're going to compute it. That's actually doing the math. So you just talk about how you did that. Interpret. What are the results? Do they make sense? Do you have enough information to write a conclusion, right? And you're cleaning it all up in a report. So that's the math part. For the literacy part, right, it's any of these examples work great from Edgenuity, or it's any writing where you have done research and included your evidence, your sources. So at minimum, there should be 3 website links are fine, sources included, okay? These other things, civil and global engagement, put any kind of slideshow or project you've done for social studies or a passion project, science, diseases, stuff like that. The rest of these you are doing as you're doing your capstone. So I don't really look for these as specific categories. They are part of the capstone process. So really it's English, math, and the civic and global engagement are the big things that we look for. Okay. So going back over to Empower, that's all there. There is a spot here for you to submit your link. You can just come right down here, click on the links button, and enter the published link. Or you don't actually have to even technically ever, well, no, I do need to see it um, to review it, but when you present it, you'll just get on Zoom. It's just you and I, and sometimes maybe a counselor, and you will share your screen and just walk me through the highlights reel of your capstone, right? So it won't be the whole thing, but it'll be the important parts of it, definitely the ones that we want to highlight from the rubric. And it will be things like the math, the literacy, anything that you're particularly proud of, but you're not going to read every paper or present every presentation. It's really going to be the overview of your capstone. I really look forward to seeing your work. You can do this.